Hello and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. I'm Jitch and you're watching Monday Night Raw. Welcome to 2024 or 12 still. 2012 still. Hope you had a good New Year though, really.
Making his way to the ring, representing the New World Order, from Miami, Florida, weighing 280 pounds, Scott Hall.
Well, last week on Raw, what a shocking outcome that was. The Shield coming out and claiming the WWE Tag Team Championships from the NWO. And this man says he's got a score to settle, he's got a bone to pick before Survivor Series. Scott Hall has challenged the man that has defeated him twice now, and that is Roman Reigns. So here tonight, kicking off Monday Night Raw, we got Scott Hall and Roman Reigns one-on-one. Also coming your way later on tonight, we got Dean Ambrose and Hulk Hogan going one-on-one in a preview of the upcoming Raw Survivor Series traditional matchup, which will be the Shield against the NWO. And I got some big news regarding that matchup. Dean Ambrose said he would only accept it on his terms. He says Hulk Hogan's got something he wants, a shot at the United States Championship. So, a lot is on the line there. The winning team will be the Tag Team Champions and, depending on Hogan or Ambrose, the contender for the United States Championship. But there is a huge stipulation for the losing team as well.
From Pensacola, Florida, weighing 265 pounds, one half of the WWE Tag Team Champions, Roman Reigns.
You see, to spice things up, to make things a little bit more interesting, we've been told that the NWO vs. the Shield will have a huge bonus stipulation, a Robo-Jitch. Alright, give me a second. A show-altering, it could really affect the entirety of Raw, and I'll get to that in just a minute. Dean Ambrose once again laid the stipulation down, to which Hogan accepted. He said he doesn't want this to be an ongoing thing. He wants this to be one match, and we find out whose turf this is. Is it the Shields, or is it the NWOs? And that is why the losing team will lose one member. Whichever team loses at Survivor Series, one member will be removed from their group. Dean Ambrose has said, I'll gladly step down from the Shield. Is Hogan's ego able to step down from the Shield? From the NWO. We'll find out at Survivor Series when those two teams face off. The losing team, one of them will have to step down from their group. So we could be seeing the very end of one of these two groups real soon. Big Samoa drop by Roman Reigns. Initially, by the way, speaking about the NWO, Hulk Hogan was supposed to be in our main event tonight. It was supposed to be, one of those classic kind of crossover type matches where we had the champions against their contenders. Dolph Ziggler, after defeating Randy Orton last week, a humongously shocking outcome to that one, is going to be facing him again here tonight. Tag team action. Orton reuniting with his former tag team partner Cody Rhodes, the United States champion. A gold-carrying team right there, the former Legacy. They were supposed to be up against Dolph Ziggler and Hogan, but Hogan said, well, that don't work for me, brother. I'm not doing it. And so, one man stepped up. He said, I'll gladly get in the ring with the WWE champion at any given opportunity, and that is why The Miz will be teaming with Dolph Ziggler here tonight to face off against Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. Isn't that big? Ziggler and Miz on the same team. I feel like that's got a lot of potential as a tag team, personally. I'm looking promising so far in this one. Survivor Series, of course, coming your way next Sunday. Just one more episode of Raw in between now and then. Is this lag the game or my capture card? 1 second. The game. Okay.
He's got him up. What do we got here?
I don't know why this game's so laggy. PS3 really wasn't that good of a console, I'm finding. It was nowhere near as strong as the 360. Well, it gave me all of these Universe series with the complete deals. Actually, to be fair, I could have done I could have done every universe series with all the DLC except for 14. I wouldn't have had all the NWO stuff in 14. Scott Hall and Roman Reigns really going at it. I said these two have got a lot of history with each other, actually. I feel like we've seen this match a few times, but it feels like this is perhaps, you know, we're now looking at like one of the bigger matches between these guys. And of course, Survivor Series will be the biggest yet. For those that don't know, this series between these two all started. Oh, huge chokeslam by Scott Hall. Clearly bitter about losing his undefeated streak on Raw. Is it over? No. But you know what comes next. You know what's right on the corner. Here we go. The Razor's Edge. Roman Reigns might be finished. Oh, dropping him down. That's got to be it. That's got to be the end of this one. Sorry, Roman, but it's over. Scott Hall picking up a victory. And I was going to say, this all started back when Roman Reigns made his debut in an EYS challenge. He actually defeated Scott Hall, Razor Ramon at the time, to leave NXT immediately with the Shield.
A big victory here tonight. Love him or hate him, that was an
And of course, last week, Roman Reigns pinned Scott Hall for the Shield to win the tag team titles. But here tonight, Scott Hall avenging that loss. And this man, I think, is going to be one to watch without the tag team titles, because he is now eligible potentially to go for that WWE Championship. And he seems unbeatable, but he could be in for another tag team championship reign at Survivor Series, as that traditional Survivor Series match will be for the tag team titles on top of the other two stipulations for it. Well, let's move on.
The following Divas contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Raleigh, North Carolina, Summer Rae.
Well, she lost the Divas Championship back at Hell in a Cell to AJ Lee. She claims it was a one-off fluke. Hell in a Cell was clearly just a lucky night for AJ for the second year in a row. And at Survivor Series, when she gets her rematch, she will be a two-time Divas Champion. I don't know necessarily if Summer Rae is right or wrong here. I'm not going to make any assumptions. But I will say this. I will absolutely say this. Summer Rae's got a tough opponent here tonight, because one woman has taken exceptional notice of who is the new Divas Champion, and she's decided it is her time to return to action. And that is Lita, the Dream Smasher.
Approaching the ring from Sanford, North Carolina, Lita.
Let's not forget, way earlier in the season, it was Lita who denied AJ Lee the Divas Championship at WrestleMania 3. It was Lita who got rid of Beth Phoenix and went on to have a dominant reign as Divas Champion at the expense of AJ Lee several times over last year. And she says, hey, it could be time for history to repeat itself. Maybe AJ can finally prove that she's worthy of defeating me. You gotta think, with all of the victories that Lita holds over AJ Lee, she's gotta be up there as a strong contender for the Divas Championship. Obviously post Survivor Series, in which case AJ Lee may no longer be the champion. Whoa, ref, chill out. It was one slap in the corner. Okay, that's enough! Oh, I turned to John Laurinaitis there.
You're tuned into Monday Night Raw, live and in high definition. What a reversal!
Well, this ought to be interesting. As I said before, both of these two really have their claim to potentially challenging AJ Lee. Of course, Summer Rae will be first, and I do wonder if she'll be able to get the Divas Championship back at Survivor Series. She was a very long-running Divas Champion. I feel like Summer Rae had a great reign. Really, as I say, I don't mean to sound mean when I say Dream Smasher, but, you know, she kind of followed in Lita's footsteps with that of anyone who wanted a shot at the Divas Championship, they couldn't quite overcome Summer Rae. You take a look at how many times Caitlyn vied for that Divas Championship. She couldn't do it. She couldn't get the job done. Oh my god, what happened there? I don't know who took the worst end of that one. Well, some of us up first, so I guess Lita. Can you follow up? What else do we have coming your way here tonight on Raw? Tonight on Raw. Wow, I haven't done any of this in 2 weeks. Whoopsie. Up next, we've got an interesting matchup. It is Student against the Master. That's right, it all comes full circle. Last week on Raw, Bryce Walker advanced into the European Championship 6-man Battle Royal. Daniel Bryan did not, as he lost to Antonio Cesaro. And it is with that I now announce to you that up next, Bryce Walker, Daniel Bryan, they go one-on-one. Can the Student beat the Master? We find out. Up next, we also got the European Champion himself, Kofi Kingston, getting ready for his upcoming Battle Royal as he faces off against Antonio Cesaro in a non-title match. And as I mentioned already before, we've also got Dean Ambrose and Hulk Hogan. And our main event of Dolph Ziggler and The Miz against Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. We're in November, 2012 finally coming to an end. I feel like this year has taken, shut up, Lola. I feel like this year has taken, oh! Maybe just a little, maybe just a little too long. You didn't see that. Nobody saw that. Nothing happened on screen there. It was all fine. What a knee drop. The knee. Rakes the eyes of Lita, Summer Rae. The big leg. The big leg of Summer Rae. She calls that the end of summer. No, she doesn't. I don't know what she calls that. It feels like Lita's got a little bit of ring rust here, and Summer Rae, oh, big heel kick. Might be the first one to defeat Lita here, and there you go. Summer Rae making it clear that she has every intention of getting back that Divas Championship at Survivor Series, and we will find out if she can do. Oh my God, she'll find out if we can do that when she goes up against AJ Lee. Well, congrats to the former Divas Champion. Will she be a two-time Divas Champion? We've only got another 13 days to find out. And by that I mean probably about 3 months to find out. Anyway, moving on up next. Bryce Walker, Daniel Bryan. This one's going to get personal. This one's going to get ugly. And I'll tell you what, Daniel Bryan, we might have to get that censor button ready.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, from New York, Bryce Walker.
Well, here he is, Mr. Big Shot himself, Bryce Walker. We'll see if this is a waste of his time. This guy is set to go to battle at Survivor Series in a 6-man battle royal to capture his first ever championship. He will be in that battle royal alongside the European champion Kofi Kingston, the former Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank winner, Antonio Cesaro, Robert Scorpio from SmackDown, Ryback, and one more participant to be decided this Friday on SmackDown. And a huge battle royal coming your way.
And approaching the ring, from Aberdeen, Washington, weighing 192 pounds, Daniel Bryan.
I think it's kind of messed up these guys don't chant yes for him now. The whole time he was saying no to it, everyone was chanting yes at him. The minute he starts joining in, they don't want to do it anymore. I mean, it's nice that they're cheering him, but I feel like they were cheering him anyway before. So, think about that. Here we go. I never thought we'd see this match happen. When Bryce Walker first arrived, well, actually, to be honest, when Bryce Walker first arrived on Raw, I thought this match was inevitable. I thought there was no way these two were going to stick together. I thought this was just Daniel Bryan using a rookie to try and get away into Money in the Bank. But they ended up being a pretty solid tag team. Bryan really showed his good intentions, and I feel like he's gained the adoration of the fans over the time to the point where they started toying with him with this yes chant, something that Daniel Bryan used to do last season. And eventually, you know, he started to embrace it, and Bryce, after completely screwing these two over back at the last event, Hell in a Cell, Bryce, you screwed that one up big time. Tagged yourself in right as Bryan was going for his finishing move. Bryan, confused, got knocked off the apron by Kofi Kingston. Cody Rhodes with the crossroads on Bryce Walker, and it immediately set up the perfect finish for Cody Rhodes to get the win over Walker, who had just tagged himself in. And then he has the nerve to attack Bryan as if it's Bryan's fault. As if Bryan was the issue there. It was Bryce that lost the match, not Bryan. Bryce. Bryan and Bryce. Oh, he is the natural.
If you're just tuning in, Michael Cole, along with WWE Hall of Famer Jerry the King Lawler, welcoming you to this amazing sold-out event.
He's very quick to abandon the colors of his mentor, Daniel Bryan, I see. I do wonder if he learned a lot during his time with Daniel Bryan. I will admit that Bryan isn't exactly the most successful man in his own right. He's a former European champion, yes, and he's a former, that might be it, actually. I can't think of anything else, but I think he had the hardcore title at one point, maybe. If that counts for anything, not really. Didn't everybody hold the hardcore title at one point?
The natural with the advantage after that exchange. Whoa, now that's getting dropped to the canvas.
Daniel Bryan taking control of Mr. Walker, and there's a knee to the gut. Ooh, this is electric. Leg sweep on Daniel. Some people say damn to that. And a big moonsault. Halfway through tonight's episode of Raw. I feel like this one's just been flying by. Ooh, big rolling elbow there. Down to Dusty Rhodes. Did he do rolling elbows? I'm sure he did. You see Dusty Rhodes, occasionally on NXT. I was about to say every week, but that's not true.
Talk about an immovable object. He's putting those indicated feet to good use. Oh, what an elbow drop.
Speaking of Battle Royals, I said that we got one this upcoming Friday on SmackDown. Oh, a label lock, a yes lock, whatever you want to call it. That's not the best place to apply it. I mean, he could maybe make Bryce tap out, but he's not going to win the match. You can't. Submissions don't count on the outside. I was going to say, speaking of the six-man Battle Royal that we've got this upcoming Friday on SmackDown to determine the final participant in that European Championship Battle Royal, we'll have another Battle Royal coming your way. We've got many Battle Royals, many Battle Royals. We've got another Battle Royal coming your way on NXT this upcoming Wednesday to determine who will be next to leave NXT. Well, potentially. It's not guaranteed. See, I have to ask, if Daniel Bryan defeats Bryce Walker, I mean, Bryce has got to keep his position in the European Championship Battle Royal anyway, right? So, like, what does that mean? I guess it just means that, you know, we don't like Bryce's odds going into that one. Shoulder tackle attempt failed. And, wow, these are back and forth strikes. These two seem to be getting awfully heated with each other. Daniel Bryan now drags Walker over and going for a cover. Okay. Is this going to be enough? No. Just a 2 count. What a kick. Whew. And Bryce Walker now looking to put pen to paper. That's a wrap. There it is. That's got to be it. That's got to be it. Don't waste his time. He wants his close-up, baby. Here's the cover. Is it over? What? Daniel Bryan! A 1 count! Oh, there's a sensor. I told you. This man loves to swear. Every time he goes for a big kick, he's like, just like that. Daniel Bryan winning with the kicks. Sorry, Brycey boy. Looks like your mentor showed you you've got a lot to learn still. It was a good showing though. It was a pretty competitive match.
We knew he felt he had to win this one tonight. I mean, there's absolutely no way to underscore how big this
No.
Perhaps the biggest in his life.
I'm not sure about this being the biggest in his life, but I would say this is a pretty important victory for Daniel Bryan as he looks to continue his rise to championship-dom. Daniel Bryan is victorious, and we now move on to the man of the hour, the man a lot of people got their eyes on the championship of, the European champion Kofi Kingston, as he faces off against Antonio Cesaro.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Switzerland, weighing 232 pounds, Antonio Cesaro.
Well, there he is, Big Tony himself, Antonio Cesaro. That's what I call him. I call him Big Tony. Don't ask why. Making his way to the ring here tonight. He set the face off against the European champion Kofi Kingston, and you know this man. He's had a rough year. I think if we had like a year-end award for like not biggest downfall, but like like roughest year award or whatever, I feel like Antonio Cesaro would be like the front runner. What do I say? I kept saying front runner. The front runner for that award. Because this man has really had it rough. You gotta think, he kicked off the year winning the Royal Rumble. And then he won Money in the Bank. And he lost both of those opportunities.
Approaching the ring from Ghana, West Africa, weighing 221 pounds, the European champion, Kofi Kingston.
Antonio Cesaro has quickly plummeted to the very bottom of Raw's rankings. But he did get an important win over Daniel Bryan to help kind of redeem himself a little bit last week on Raw and qualify for the European Championship Battle Royal. We'll now see if that was a one-on-one situation. If it was Antonio Cesaro and Kofi Kingston this Sunday, it won't be. But if it was, maybe that's what it will come down to. And we'll see if when it comes down to these two, who the better man is. Is it Kofi? Is it Antonio? Well, ring the goddamn bell. Let's find out. That's gross. I don't want to think about this man's neck hair. Massive belly to belly there by Antonio Cesaro. Since Kofi Kingston plummeting now, striking away now. I really like this Kofi Kingston attire. I'm pretty sure this is his default. Really nice color choices.
We're in the feeling out process here. Who's going to get the advantage and maintain control?
Gray with a very slightly bluish hue. And like a neon yellow. It's nice.
Cesaro too crafty to get caught with that. Kofi's
Almost like a lion.
into play. Nailed with that boot. Oh,
It is the wind is blowing outside so hard right now that I actually felt a little bit of a rumble before.
what a body shot.
That's crazy. I had to go out earlier. Well, I didn't have to. I kind of went out because I felt like it. I had to go out on that, and it was rough. It was really picking up on my way back, and like actually kind of hot as it was hitting my face.
Well, you can hope to do that all you want, but I really don't think it's possible. That suplex was picture perfect.
As I say, this could be the beginning of something important for Antonio Cesaro. I mean, the thing is, not everyone can cut to the front of the line. I will say that. Antonio Cesaro, he's had a good start to his career, but I will be the first to admit this man really did jump to the front of the line, so to speak, winning the Royal Rumble, winning Money in the Bank, two things that put you very much in line for the World Championships of your brand. when this guy hasn't really accomplished a whole lot just yet. And I don't mean any disrespect when I say that. It's just, you know, he does have a long way to go still.
Kofi's speed comes into play. Antonio's being overwhelmed here.
I have in my head that Antonio Cesaro is a former European champion in his own right. I'm going to quickly pull that up and check. I think he has held it before. Is that right? No. No, he's a former ECW television champion, but that's all. Kofi Kingston going for the Season 4 special. I'm surprised that wasn't the end right there. This is Season 4.
Nobody home for that one. Cesaro's down. Cesaro's down. King, and he's in real trouble. Kingston
Cesaro now.
here. He needs to
That
turn
big
the tables.
butterfly suplex. And he's stomping the knee.
Kofi's in trouble.
Kofi. Tell you, if you're Cody Rhodes, though, you got to be kind of thinking your stars a little bit. You've gotten out of having to defend your U.S. Championship at Survivor Series. I mean, I believe whether it's Hulk Hogan or Dean Ambrose, they'll be getting their shot at the U.S. Championship the next night on Raw. And that suplex was enough.
He's calling for the bell. The match is over.
Antonio Cesaro defeats Kofi Kingston. That's some heavy-ass wind.
Here is your winner, Antonio Cesaro.
Absolutely amazing.
We knew he felt he had to win this one tonight.
I mean, there's absolutely no way to underscore how big this victory is. Perhaps the biggest in his life.
They said that about every match tonight. This is the most important episode of Raw in history. Every single match, the wins are so important to everyone. Anyway, we now move on. Up next, Dean Ambrose will face off against Hulk Hogan. I believe this is a first-time face-off. I'm very interested in seeing who comes out on top between this individual from The Shield and this leader of the NWO. Well, for the second time here tonight, we see a member of The Shield, Dean Ambrose, stepping up.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, from Cincinnati, Ohio, weighing 215 pounds, Dean Ambrose.
What a man right there. Dean Ambrose has had his sights set on the United States Championship for a while now. All starting with that 3-on-1 attack on Cody Rhodes. And I tell you, no one can ever predict The Shield. You never know when they're going to show up. You never know who they're going to set their sights on. But I will say this, you got to feel real sorry for whoever it may be. However, they may have met their match already here on Raw, because there was already one 3-man unit in town, and that group's name was the New World Order. They have been a very dominant and successful part of Monday nights, especially when it comes to the tag division, not so much when it comes to, well, this guy. But, nonetheless, you know, they are definitely a force to be reckoned
Approaching
with.
the ring, representing the New World Order, weighing 280 pounds, Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
And I wonder if things will continue to be the same here on Raw, if we'll get, you know, a little longer of the NWO, or if we will be ushering in a new era, the era of The Shield at Survivor Series. What bigger event than the 4th ever Survivor Series marks 4 years of this here universe. Survivor Series, a very special place in terms of sentimentality, that is, as it continues to mark special anniversaries. Generally, it's the 3rd anniversary, but it's 4 years of doing it. Well, actually, to be fair, if we're talking real honest, we're actually about 5 years of doing Universe. But that's besides the point, alright? It's so it takes me really long to record and upload these. So what? Alright? So what? I do it. Eventually. We're just in the feeling out process right now. We gotta find out who's gonna take the advantage and maintain control. That's all. Dean Ambrose using his speed to his advantage first thing, and yeah, he's definitely got a more fresh-faced, youthful approach than Mr. Hulk Hogan here. Hulk Hogan, as some people call him, myself included just now. I've never called him that before in my life. I have heard people call him Hulk Hogan before. I think it's a very British thing.
This will be a physical battle.
The Incredible Hulk.
Look at this dominance. This isn't a match, it's a massacre.
Oh yeah, Dean Ambrose absolutely tearing apart Hulk Hogan. Imagine if this was the exact opposite of that opening matchup. Scott Hall really showing us his stuff. What if Hulk Hogan gets put in his place? We've been talking about a power struggle in the NWO potentially brewing one day. I've been saying this for a while now. The moment Scott Hall is out of the tag team championship picture, that man is undeniably a top contender for the WWE championship. I think Scott Hall and Randy Orton, that's a money match right there. I'd love to see it. That's a fantasy match. But we'll see what the future holds for the NWO, the Shield, Randy Orton, maybe even Dolph Ziggler. Who knows where the W Championship scene will be headed for TLC after Survivor Series. Oh no. Oh no, Dean, don't throw the punches. Don't fall for it, Dean. Everyone always falls for it. Don't do it, Dean. No! Hulk Hogan. Big boot. Off the ropes. And a leg drop. Man, listen to that crowd. They are going wild for that classic Hulk Hogan sequence. Dean kicking out immediately. That wasn't even a 2. That was a 1. The Hogan leg drop. The most protected move of the 80s. Really being exposed for how garbage it is. Did I say that out loud? Whoops. It's weird that that was ever like a big finisher though when you think about it. A leg drop is so underwhelming. I feel like even a suplex is more interesting than a leg drop. I understand it was more about the style in which he did it, but like, I don't know. It's kind of like the People's Elbow. I love The Rock, you know, an all-time favorite of mine, but like, whenever he wins matches with the People's Elbow, it's like, really? That kept them down?
And he's toast. That elbow did some damage.
Oh, the punch connects.
A reversal for Ambrose. Oh, that was slick.
Dean Ambrose slamming down Hulk Hogan. And now Ambrose giving this man stretching. Go on, Hogan. Tap. Tap, you little bitch. I mean, is he gonna tap? Never mind. Don't worry about that last thing I said. Well, still to come up next is our main event. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton on the same page for the first time since, I believe, just before SummerSlam of 2011? Might have been 2010. I don't remember which SummerSlam it was. Oh no, it was 2010, I'm pretty sure, because it was the main event. Triple Threat Legacy. The night neither Randy or Cody walked out with the US Championship, but instead, the most underwhelming outcome possible happened to close out SummerSlam. It was the first ever SummerSlam event, that's right. That's it! Wait! I don't believe Randy and Cody have ever been on the same page since 2 years ago. I'll be interested to see if they can look past their issues and work together tonight. Former Legacy both holding championship gold in this, the year 2012.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
can't wait for 2013 to roll around. I hear there's a new video game console on the horizon that's going to really shake the world. And the Xbox One. Dean Ambrose into the cover. Nope.
He's putting those educated feet to good use.
And he dodges that one.
Whoa, Ambrose somehow moved out of the way there.
This match still rolling. And it will after Raw rolls on. I like saying that. I get why Michael Cole likes saying that, because I like saying that. I don't actually know if he likes saying that, but he does say it a lot.
I can't believe everything that's transpired thus far. It's been so physical.
Uh-oh, second leg drop. Well, Dean Ambrose kicked out immediately from the first, but the second one could be the beginning of the end, and it's a good night to be a member of the NWO.
Hogan standing in the ring with his arm raised in victory.
Well, not yet, Cole. Jeez. Gotta get a little ahead of himself. Well, it is not looking good for the Shield tonight. From Scott Hall defeating Roman Reigns to Hulk Hogan defeating Dean Ambrose, the NWO looking strong, and I think we got to see Seth Rollins and Kevin Nash in action next week on Raw, no doubt about it. But that's just my personal opinion. Either way, it's a big win for the Hulkster, if you want to call him that. That's up to you. And we move on to our main event now. Tag team action. Buckle up, because this one is going to take an eternity.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. On the way to the ring, from Hollywood, Florida, weighing 223 pounds, Dolph Ziggler.
Interestingly enough, the crowd do not seem to be on the side of Dolph Ziggler here tonight. I mean, you would have thought with his huge win over Randy Orton last week on Raw, he would have gained a lot of crowd support. I mean, it was a huge opportunity, and Dolph Ziggler not only took it, but he seized it. He defeated the WWE champion and showed that maybe he could be next. Maybe he could be the very next WWE champion. It almost seems as if the fans have said, no, we don't want you as champion. We like Randy. That has got to sting. Dolph Ziggler with the biggest win of his entire career, pinning the WWE champion, earning his first ever main event world championship opportunity, and he's being booed for it. Ooh, that has got to hurt. Well, here he comes, the tag team partner of Ziggler, and I mean, perhaps this is why they're booing Dolph, to be fair. The fans do not like The Miz.
Tag team partner, from Cleveland, Ohio, weighing 231 pounds, The Miz.
I don't feel like these two have ever really interacted much in this universe, actually. Quite an interesting little fact. I would have figured with their music being by the same band, they'd have been either best friends or worst enemies, because that's how it works. That's exactly how it works, yep. Never mind the fact that most people have music by the same one guy. That's how it works. Interesting enough, no sign of Goldberg here tonight. I would have thought that Miz's personal security would be in his corner for this tag team match, especially with the implication of what this would mean to beat a tag team of champions. Not the tag team champions, but a tag team of the top Raw champions, the United States champion Cody Rhodes and the WWE champion Randy Orton. And what a huge reunion this is. This is... I wouldn't have thought we'd have seen this, but it just so happened to end up that way.
From Marietta, Georgia, weighing 223 pounds, the United States champion, Cody Rhodes.
And that guy right there has overcome a lot of obstacles in his reign as United States champion. It started back at SummerSlam. We're about 3 months in so far, and I feel like he's already been extremely impressive as United States champion. recently defeating Dean Ambrose to retain that title just a few weeks back. And obviously Ambrose, he's not done. He wants another opportunity at that championship. But if he can put away the NWO alongside the Shield at Survivor Series, then he will get that United States Championship opportunity. Cody Rhodes holds that US Championship very near and dear to him. It's the first title he ever won in this series. His first reign, a little short-lived, a little underwhelming in his personal opinion, but he's redeeming himself with this one. And here tonight, what a reunion.
And his tag team partner, from St. Louis, Missouri, weight 245 pounds, the WWE Champion, the Apex Predator, Randy Orton.
We know there's a very dangerous side to this man because we watched it unfold as he put away the former WWE Champion, the history-making WWE Champion, The Rock, with that big punt kick back at Hell in a Cell just 8 days ago when he cashed in that Money in the Bank briefcase fresh off of winning it. Randy Orton, in a lot of people's eyes, has the greatest Money in the Bank cash-in we've ever witnessed. There was so much behind it, so much reason, so much venom in that move, no pun intended. But I do know one thing. Rock wants Randy to hold on to that title because he wants his revenge. Who knows when Rock will be back. I'll tell you what, when we get Rock and Randy facing off, it's going to be big. That match has not yet properly happened ever before. I believe we've had a cash-in on both ways around. We had Rock cash-in on Randy, and we had Randy cash-in on Rock. But we've not actually had Randy and Rock face off one-on-one for the WWE Championship in the past. I don't think. I mean, we might have done, but I don't think so. So I'll tell you, when that match finally does happen, it's going to have to be on the right stage. It's going to have to be a big one. It's going to have to be treated as important as it is. Why is it so laggy? It's just a tag match. I've done tag matches in this game before. Just remember, we only have like 4 in-game calendar months. We're getting there. We're getting very close now. We're in the final third of this season. And when we get to Royal Rumble, like WrestleMania around that time, I mean, that just flies by anyway. That's when all the big stuff starts happening, you know? Especially that Rumble. My God, I love the Royal Rumble. Antonio Cesaro has now set the precedent that a Royal Rumble winner can in fact lose at WrestleMania. WrestleMania 1 and 2, we saw the Royal Rumble winners, Christian and Batista, respectively, win their WrestleMania matches. Antonio Cesaro has now dropped that statistic to a 66.6% success rate as he lost his WrestleMania match to Triple H. One fan randomly yelling out Cody. You gotta listen to that guy. He's the key to all of this.
Oh, look at this. Not the position you want to be in. Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
Cody with a big slap there as Cody and Randy actually seem to be very much on the same page. I mean, the thing you got to keep in mind is this is just a one-off thing. They don't have to love each other. They don't have to carry on working together coming out of this one. It's all about just tonight and the fact that should either one of these two be able to just remain on the same page with the other, it's a win. And then they can just move on. They don't have to be friends. They don't have to see eye to eye. They just gotta win. And for Randy, that's very important right now. This is his second night on the job as WWE Champion. His 8th overall as the new WWE Champion, but obviously this is his second Raw with that title. And last week, I think things got off to a start that he was not at all happy with. Randy Orton said, you know, perhaps I underestimated Dolph Ziggler. Alright, I'll admit it. He is talented. But I will not hold back at Survivor Series when my championship is on the line. I've waited too long to get my hands on this title. I am not losing to Dolph Ziggler at Survivor Series. Those are Randy Orton's words.
Man, this has been a great matchup.
There is a strong belief going right now that Randy will lose that championship, though, as, you know, his literal exit from SmackDown with losing to the Big Show. He's not exactly been on much of a roll, but that Money in the Bank win, it was a huge shock. It made a lot of sense. Who knows? Bulldog there by Cody Rhodes. Cody looking a little bit hot here. He might want to tag out. Randy has not been in this match yet, and now he is. I do feel like Miz has really hogged the spotlight here, but that's very appropriate for him. I probably that's the only reason we wouldn't see Miz and Ziggler as a tag team anytime soon, is as something they both have in common: the ego, the incredible ego on these two combined. I don't think they could last. For the ropes. Randy with a fence press, okay.
After all of these shots to the head, I've got a feeling that Soup's going to be on his diet for the foreseeable future.
Tag out, and in comes Dolph Ziggler, and obviously this man has been on cloud 9 ever since he defeated Randy Orton last week on Raw. He had a bit of a downfall, losing that United States Championship. But he says it's just the awakening. It's just the beginning now for Dolph Ziggler, and there is something bigger on his horizon. He has already proven that he can beat the WWE Champion once. Tonight, he proves he can do it a second time, and at Survivor Series, he does it a third and the most important of all. Really feels like we've kicked into a kind of a new era here on Raw. I mean, obviously, you know, when you've got to reign the length of the Rocks and it comes to an end, that is going to be a huge change.
Nobody home for that one. Orton with a fiendish counter.
Oh, clothesline! Did you hear how his leg connected?
Damn, I keep dropping my controller.
From that kick.
My legs are so slippery.
We know what this is. That's it. He's done. That should do it right there. A kick out. And he almost had it.
Wow, I could not get that out from where that fell down. I kept flipping. Dolph Ziggler with a sleeper hold. Is Randy Orton going to pass out? Is this going to be it? Is it over? No.
He's in a world of trouble. Much more of this, and I doubt he'll be able to continue.
I feel like I might have missed something really important for a minute there. Randy Orton kicking out. And obviously, this is very important to Randy not to take another loss here tonight. Miz obviously someone who has a little bit of history with Randy Orton. In fact, Randy's final official match as a Raw Superstar before he was sent to SmackDown last year was actually against The Miz. It was a SummerSlam main event for the WWE title. Randy Orton retaining the title against The Miz. There was a show of respect between the two afterwards, and that's what led to... Oh! The betrayal. Cover attempt here off an RKO on The Miz. Randy Orton picks up the win. No, he does not. That was a very delayed reaction for me. Well, Cody Rhodes very attentive. And he is no stranger to picking up wins over Dolph Ziggler. If Randy wants to pick the brain of someone who knows how to beat Dolph, Cody's done it a couple of times. Cody really fought tooth and nail to overcome Dolph Ziggler, though. I will say that. I felt like they had a pretty good feud, and the way it's passed on to Randy. Oh, nice! Cody constantly getting the best of Dolph Ziggler, and I mean, that's pretty good to see. Suplex by Dolph Ziggler on Randy Orton. Uh-oh. Randy. Never mind. Oh, wait a minute. Randy. Randy. Oh, no. Randy. Dolph Ziggler into the cover. Is this going to be enough? No. Randy's back. Nope. Double team here by Miz and Ziggler. And I gotta say, they seem to be working pretty well as a combination. We're always looking for new teams here on Raw. What do you think about the idea of more Miz and Ziggler? I mean, they've been pretty good. I don't know how Goldberg would fit into that, but he is just supposed to be Miz's bodyguard after all, not necessarily his tag team partner. Yeah, they've competed as a team, but it's not really his primary job. His protection for the Miz. Cover attempt here by Randy Orton on Dolph Ziggler, and that's a quick break up there by the Miz. And you know these tag team matches, they go long. Randy, what are you doing? Oh! Right on the money. And Dolph Ziggler, insult to injury, continues to strike away, and he's busted open the Viper. And I'll tell you what, Randy Orton is the kind of guy, he sees his own blood, he starts seeing red in more ways than one. Well, Orton making a hot tag out to Cody Rhodes, the United States champion, and these two have had a lot of exchanges in the past. How important it would be to Dolph to defeat Cody Rhodes tonight, really show how much growth he's had recently with this sudden victory over Randy Orton. But he makes the tag out, Miz is in. Okay, that was a very clunky exchange there. We're about to see a skull-crushing finale from Cody Rhodes. Ziggler breaks it up. Miz and Ziggler double teaming Cody Rhodes. Knees to the gut in unison. Cody and Miz. Cover attempt here by Cody on the Miz. Is it over? Dolph rushing into the ring, but no. Miz still got this one. Former WWE champion is over. You know, Cody. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say Cody's the only one here that's not a former WWE champion, but neither is Ziggler. What am I saying? Dolph not favoring that head too well. That's not a sign of weakness you want to show on a man who will drive that thing into the mat harder than you can imagine. Season 4 special. It's over. It would have been if Miz didn't break it up. I'm telling you now, that would have been it. I've seen enough Season 4 to know when a match is going to end, and that would have been it. Randy Orton realizes if he can get that submission on Ziggler without the Miz getting involved, this match is over. He knows Dolph has had enough. Cover attempt here by Dolph Ziggler on Randy Orton, and it looks like Cody didn't even need to break that one up. This is getting very heated, very back and forth. Dolph. Oh, classic show off. Dolph Ziggler now. Oh, he's coming in hot. He's coming in hot with these elbows. Can Dolph Ziggler pin Randy Orton for the second week in a row? He does! Dolph Ziggler pins the new WWE champion 2 weeks in a row. Him and Miz worked so good as a team.
Here are your winners, Dolph Ziggler and The Miz.
I love a good tag
This was a good tag team. I hate to admit it, but they've really functioned well. Dolph Ziggler and The Miz closing out tonight's episode of Raw. And we'll see what's to come next week on Raw. But right now, these two just beat 2 champions in a tag team matchup. This is a big way to close out. Thank you all for watching tonight's episode of Raw. I'll see you on NXT. Whoops, I pressed that too quick.